That's my mystery chick. What is he? I don't know. Little guy. Sometimes I hand feed Johnny. I'm gonna eat it. So I guess I got into the chicken business at the right time with the bird flu that's going around. It's an interesting story in that there are 17 million fewer birds right now than there were a year ago, I believe is the statistic. A lot of them are being killed because of the bird flu. But what's happening is that's putting a crimp on egg supply. When you put a crimp on supply, price goes up. So prices are going up and supply is actually shortening down. There was a story that broke, I read, my brother sent it to me actually. He was on like CNN or something. He sent me a link. But the egg shortage, they interviewed Publix, the supermarket chain, and they said, yes, they're starting to see egg shortages and they don't see it correcting itself probably for a good 6 to 10 months, if it actually corrects then. Excuse the wind noise. So what I did was I went to my Walmart app and I changed my zip code from here to California. And if you didn't buy the Walmart brand, every other brand of egg was close to $10 a dozen. $10 a dozen. That's crazy, man. My wife just got back from Walmart and she looked at the price, and just the Walmart brand was getting close to $5 a dozen for eggs. Just on the Walmart brand, that's not even going up to like an Eggland's Best or something like that. I'm using not only are we getting eggs, I'm getting 2 dozen eggs a day from these chickens, but I'm also using the internal shavings and their poo, the chicken poo, and we're starting to transfer that into our compost piles that we use in the garden. We don't use any fertilizers up there. The only thing we use compost piles and dirt booster. So if you're starting to think about your spring garden, make sure you have dirt booster, because that's all we've used now for 4 or 5 years in our vegetable gardens. Last year that garden produced, over 2,000 pounds of produce in that garden. The year before it was closer to 3,000 pounds, and we cut it back. It was too much. So anyways, I figured out a little system up there to get that out and to transport it in. The chickens are running great. I'm having to trap raccoons again. I'll go over that, why I'm having to trap them again. And that's it. I'm just going to random video for you guys. Okay, quite an operation. Winching tree off of it. No damage to the roof. Hallelujah. We're up here, down to here. Look at that. Not even a shingle torn off. That's crazy, dude. That is crazy. So I think I've caught this cat. Hey, Kiki. Hey, buddy. I think I've caught this cat probably 3 times, and then there's one with black and white paws. And they're all feral. The thing about feral cats, you got to watch out. Sometimes they'll turn on you when you let them out, and they'll tear you up. So, hi, baby. It's okay. I'll let you out. I'll let you out now. You seem like a nice one. There you go. Go on. So I actually like my feral cats. Like I said, I've got 2 solid black ones. I've got a big solid black one out back. I've got one with black one with white paws. And then I have a calico kind of looking one. And I don't mind them because they actually come out here and probably eat a lot of mice out here. So, but since I'm using dog food in here on my live traps, I have a tendency to catch them once in a while. You figure they learn, and they don't. All right, so we got more redneck crap going on. So I told them, I said, save those 2 big stumps, and I'll put them down here on my rifle range for when I'm shooting my AR. Because I don't like to shoot my AR too much at this steel plate. So I like to have a stump down there to sort of slow down the bullet a little bit. It's the same system I use for my deer. I have a double pulley system that takes that front winch over the back. And dude, that's a big friggin' stump to have. But man, stick that up down here, it'd be great to shoot at. All right, let's see what happens. I'll probably have to pull forward like the last one. Stand back. That's some redneck shit there. Dude, that is some red. Let me back up just a hair. Dude, when you're old and fat, you make up crap. Watch yourself, because this is jerky. Just throw it over the top. All right, so I've got my egg bag. I'm gonna head up, do the chickens. I'm getting about 2 dozen eggs a day, just under 20 to 24 eggs a day from the chickens, which is really nice. I don't sell my eggs. I only give them to people. I give them to friends, family, neighbors, people that really appreciate farm fresh eggs, because you got to understand farm fresh eggs. They're not refrigerated. You leave them on the counter if they're unwashed. And they're just so good. They really are so good. Let me tell you about this tree situation out here. We got some really cold weather moving in. Possibly another winter storm moving in. They're not sure. It could be anything from just cold drizzle, light dust, to possibly several inches. But during the last storm, it turned into a sort of a sleet and ice storm. And this real pretty cedar tree that was here fell over on my roof over here, and we used their truck winch and my UTV winch, and what we did was we lifted it off the roof, and then with my UTV I pulled it over and we cut it and let it fall. Thank goodness. Then we took the rest of the tree out, so now we got to do something with this area over here. While they were here, I also had them, these trees, there was another 20-25 feet up top here of these trees. And on cedar trees, whenever they have that V in it, they're gonna split. Matter of fact, we had one fall down here when we were remodeling this house. So I had them top those off. And you can't see it unless you look up. But now I feel a lot better, especially with any ice storms that come by. I just hate to lose any more of those. So they're gonna sit here and scream at me until I feed them, but one of the reasons why I have my raccoon traps out, if you don't understand, real quick, let me summarize. If you have chickens and you have a raccoon problem, you need to solve that problem. Raccoons will get into a chicken house and absolutely kill every single chicken in your chicken house. They don't go in there to steal an egg. Once they start killing, they'll kill every single chicken in there. So you need to make sure that your chicken house is secure, fencing wise. And then my chickens, their actual house, you would have to have a set of DeWalt tools to get into that thing at night, because it has a solid steel door that goes down. It's built like armor, and every night at sunset they're inside that house and it closes up. Then I have the main, I call that the inside run for them, and then I open up the outside run, and they have a big, it's like 10 by 80 outside run with hawk netting. We have hawk netting because we have hawks out here, and I'll tell you right now, there's kind of a couple myths. Crow decoys, owl decoys, I have them. They don't keep it away. And a hawk will sit up in this tree and he knows what's going on. The other thing is people say that hawks won't attack black chickens. They do. I was down at the beach house. There were 2 black chickens in my front yard while I was cutting the grass, and a hawk came in and whacked one of them. Luckily, the chicken got away. But there is no firm rule when it comes to that. The only firm rule is if you're in an area that has hawks, put up some hawk netting. Make a big outdoor run, put up hawk netting, and be safe. Now, their whole run system is inside this garden, fenced-in garden, but also we're digging in additional stuff to protect them in here too. So we should be good to go. I mean, you can only do so much, but we're doing everything we can. So I started to see a couple raccoons out again, so I'm setting some raccoon traps out. Last year, on the back side of that property over there, we took out 142 raccoons over 13 months. Say that again. We took out 142 raccoons back over here over 13 months. That's crazy numbers. And now I'm starting to see a few of them. They're just like rats. Starting to see a few of them pop up. My goal is not to make raccoons extinct. My goal is just to make it to the point where it's hard to trap them. I don't have an excess population. The DNR, Department of Natural Resources, has charts on their website that shows as the raccoon population goes up, the turkey population declines. Same with quail. Any ground nesting animal just gets decimated by raccoons. And finally, on my trail camera back here last month, I had 3 or 4 turkeys on my back trail again. So that's a good sign. I'd love to have turkeys back out here again. We had some when we first bought the property. We saw 10 or 20 of them running down the road, and it's just like, man, the raccoons just wipe them out. So yeah, but I got some feral cats. The only thing I hate is once in a while I'll catch a skunk. And let me tell you what, when you kill a skunk, the last thing he does before he dies is sprays, and it will stink up this property, and you can't go near that trap, I'm telling you, for like 2 weeks. I went back over to that trap over there 2 weeks afterwards, and I was like, oh, it was horrible. One thing I want to do is, what I like to do is I mix up pine chips and wheat straw inside of their house. And when you got 30 chickens, you get a bunch of poo. So you'll have a bunch of poo mixed in with that. And after about 3 or 4 weeks, even if you turn it, doesn't matter. You'll start to get it kind of heavy in that nitrogen sort of poo. And what I want to do is I want to create some kind of cutout where maybe over here, I'm going to take a piece of metal roofing and I want to create sort of a slide where I can just throw it out of there onto a slide into my cart and then just take it over to a compost pile. So right now I'm using one of these tubs. Actually, these tubs, the big tubs I have are actually what I started off with brooders. So these big tubs, I had 2 of these big tubs, I think that's the size, and I split them up, the chicks in there. Watch out, girls. Watch out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shovel out this stuff. It's kind of heavy and poo, so I'm going to shovel this out, put it here, and then move it over to the compost pile. But they're a pain in the... Even over here, if I had a little slide thing, I could just go from here to here and it would slide out. Ooh, run away, big scary black tub, run away. That might even work better. Let's try that. Wow. Maybe don't need some sticks here. Oh yeah. Look at that. And then it'll go right out the door. That works out even better, I think, as long as I can get to it. Oh yeah. Man, look at that. Chickens, you gotta move. Why you gotta be in the middle of everything? Sometimes they are kind of annoying. You gotta move, you know. Oh yeah, look at that. That works out perfect there. That works out perfect. That's a perfect height for that. I may not even need that. This is the stuff that you normally buy from the chicken houses. you want to make compost, what are you doing up there, crazy bird? There's always one. There's always one bird. So what I'm hoping is that this thing now will come out of here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love it when a plan comes together, and this tub has wheels on it, which makes it kind of nice. And now I can just wheel it over. Oh man, this is a system here. I think I just invented something. Oh, it's amazing that just over time, the poo and how much this weighs now. This was an old compost pile over here. Get some of this fencing off of it. So this is an old or leftover pile of compost. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put dirt booster, the chicken crap, basically, and just layer it, and just leave it. If I wanted to actually make this active, I can actually like drill a hole in it, pour boiling water, or else get some charcoal and light charcoal and then cover it up, and that heat will actually start this pile. It's amazing what he's done. So again, if you're not familiar with it, that's dirt booster. It has corn distillates. It already has mycorrhizal fungi and good bacteria. Has humic acid, has humichar in it, which is humic acid and biochar. And it's the only thing we use in our gardens. We no longer use any fertilizers. We use this. Fantastic results. Get some. Alright, so I don't think you'll probably see this anywhere else on the internet, and this is how this coop is designed. This coop is designed like a deck with wide slats, wide holes in between the slats. And one thing you'll notice is when you clean your chicken coop out, you're going to have piles of wet muck. I don't have that. These boards are basically dry, and it can actually filter out underneath, and I can bring what's underneath back in on top if I want, and it has good microbes, it has good bacteria, and it'll actually start a composting process, which does not happen in a coop where you just put something like hemp or shavings. That process doesn't start because it requires oxygen, moisture, and good bacteria. That's what it takes to compost. We've worked with compost piles for years developing products, and you have to have those items, otherwise you're just sucking up poo inside of whatever you're putting down. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm actually going to put I'm going to put a smaller layer. I'm not going to go as deep this time, and I think what I'm going to try doing is, instead of once a month doing this, I'm going to see how it looks after 2 weeks. And I'm just using one bag of the larger pine shavings, and we'll see what happens. John's coming in. Normally I'd put 2 bags down here, or 1 bag of this and then some wheat straw. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in here, and here they go digging inside something new. I'm just going to try 1 bag. I just need enough to catch the poo. That's all you need. I don't need to go real deep with it if I'm going to be doing this composting pile over here. All right, girls, let's see what we got here. There's 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and all those were in one of those baskets. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 without reaching under her. Can I reach under you, honey? Let me see what you got. How many you got? Oh, there's one. Okay, you keep the fake one. That's what, 16, I think. So, looks like I got into the egg business at the right time, huh? Good gracious, man. I don't know if it's going to get better anytime soon, I'll be honest. I'm over in the cabin because it's too windy to go outside and actually talk. I don't know that we're going to see any reasonable solution to this, because they're quote unquote coming out with a chicken vaccine apparently for this. But I mean, if it keeps spreading, I keep seeing egg shortages and prices going up. So I got into the egg business at the right time, apparently. Now, I have a feeling that some people out there are going to start to rethink this whole backyard chicken thing again. So if you guys want me to, what I may do is I may take you through my journey as far as beginning to end. And I was pulling a lot of information off the internet when it comes to the chickens. And then what I do is I did some experimentations. I did a lot of things differently than you see on there. And it's not that people, things that you hear aren't true. It's just that I think people put too much emphasis on like little details, and they freak out about stuff. Like when you get your chickens, you need to put in electrolytes into the water. Dude, they just need water and food. That's it, and a heat lamp. It's real simple. And why did I choose the chickens that I chose? How big of a chicken house did I build? How come my chicken house has slots on the floor where everyone else is solid? Just little things like that. So maybe if you guys want it, I'll do that. But it's interesting. So we're taking that waste product. We're getting 24 eggs a day. We're taking the waste product, and that waste product we're putting back into the garden. That garden, in return, easily produces 2,000 pounds of produce. If you saw some of my previous videos, I mean, it was just in tomatoes, it was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds of tomatoes alone. So it's that cycle process that's actually really kind of cool that we're doing. We are using dirt booster. That's the only thing we use besides compost piles in our garden. So if you're getting ready to think about your garden spring or doing some compost piles, throw in some dirt booster with it. It's fantastic. It's a great add-on. Anyways, I got a bunch more videos coming. Don't forget, we've got the preparation series over at Savage Prepping. Just go to Google, type in @SavagePrepping, all one word. I have the most important video I think I've ever done on my YouTube career is probably going to be coming out there within maybe a week or two. It talks about serious matters that are coming up for our homeland and homeland security. And I'll be addressing it. It's going to be kind of a heavy video, but I think it needs to be done. So I'm going to do it. What the heck? I'll talk to you later. Doc.